Canada has made the biggest announcement of the Canadian immigration history. 6 new pathways to permanent residency for over 90,000 essential temporary workers and international graduates launching on May 6, 2021. What are the conditions, eligibility criteria, what kind of document you should be getting ready ahead? To get all these details, stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all doing great. If you are new here, I provide information about immigrate to Canada and help people to apply for Canada immigration by themselves without any agent, which can save them a lots of money. Without a further ado, let's start today's video. Let's have a look on what are these new pathways. These are the temporary public policies. It is not a pilot program, so they are just announced due to COVID, just for temporary basis. This is for temporary workers and international graduates who are already in Canada and employed in hospitals and long-term care homes and on the front line of other essential sectors, as well as international graduates who have completed an eligible Canadian post-secondary program within the last 4 years and no earlier than January 2017. The time limit for these programs is, it will be effective from May 6, 2021 to November 5th, 2021. So they are open just for 6 months. And the great news is, you are also allowed to submit the peer application of your family members along with your peer application. This program has total 6 new pathways with 3 main streams and 3 additional streams. 3 main streams. These streams have intake cap, means it has limit to accept the applications. The first one is temporary workers in healthcare, which they listed in Annex A. This is Annex A, eligible health related occupations. I will leave the link in the description below. You can go on that link and check your NOC code under this list. If you come under Annex A, you will be eligible in Stream A, temporary workers in healthcare sectors. A maximum of 20,000 applications will be accepted for processing under this stream. Next one is temporary workers in other selected essential occupations, which they listed in Annex B. This is Annex B, other eligible essential occupations. Guys, this is a big list of occupations, almost all occupations in there. You can see cashiers, service station attendants, tool and die makers, industrial electricians, gas fitters, floor covering installers, transport truck drivers, bus drivers. So many. This is really a big list. You can check your NOC code in here, and if your NOC code comes under this list, you will be eligible for temporary workers in essential occupation category. A maximum of 30,000 applications will be accepted for processing under this category. The third one is international students who graduated from a Canadian institutes, and a maximum of 40,000 applications will be accepted for processing under this category. So these 3 streams are with intake cap. They have a limit to accept the applications. The streams will remain open until November 5th, 2021 or until they have reached their limit. So whatever come first, if they reach their limit before November 5th, they will be closed before. Otherwise, they will be closed on November 5th, 2021. For greater clarity, application will continue to be accepted in one stream even if the cap has been reached in other streams. Suppose if they got 20,000 application in this stream, but this stream hasn't received 20,000 application yet, they will continue to accept the application in this stream even though Stream A has reached its cap. 3 additional streams. These 3 streams with no intake cap. These 3 streams are same like the three main streams. The only difference is the people with French language assessment can apply under those streams with no intake cap. Means people who have French assessment can apply under those streams even they reached their cap already. To promote Canada's official language, 3 additional streams with no intake cap have also been launched for French speaking or bilingual candidates. So now we're going to talk about eligibility requirements for Canadian work experience class in any essential occupation, means healthcare sector and other essential occupations. Conditions applicable to principal applicants. The candidate must have at least 1 year of work experience or the equivalent in part-time experience in Canada in an eligible occupation listed in Annex A or Annex B in the 3 years preceding the date when the application for permanent residence is received. So candidate must have 1 year of work experience, means 1560 hours work experience. It could be full-time work experience or it can be accumulated by part-time work experience in last 3 years. Stream A means healthcare sector. The 1 year of work experience must have been acquired in one or more occupation list in only Annex A. I repeat, only Annex A. Experience cannot be combined with Annex B occupation for healthcare sector. Stream B for other essential occupations. The 1 year of work experience must have been acquired in one or more occupations listed in Annex B or a combination of occupation in Annex A and B. So for Stream B, like other essential occupations, your work experience could be one or more occupation in Annex B or it could be a combination of Annex A and B. But for Stream A, you should have all the work experience from Annex A only. The candidate must be employed in Canada in any essential occupation at the time that the application for permanent residence is received. The candidate must not have been self-employed. The candidate must have a CLB level 4, either official language for each of the 4 language skill area, means reading, listening, speaking and writing. The evaluation must be less than 2 years old when the permanent residence application is received. The candidate must reside in Canada with a valid temporary residence status and be physically present in Canada at the time of the application for permanent residence is received and when the application is approved. If your temporary residence status is going to be expired, you should be eligible to restore your status. The candidate must intend to reside in a province or territory other than Quebec. You are not allowed to live in Quebec under this program. The candidate must have submitted their application for permanent residence under this public policy using electronic means. Means you need to apply for your permanent residency only online. So these are the requirements for the main applicant, means principal applicant in Canadian work experience class. So I will repeat again, these are very low, very easy requirements, like you need at least 1 year of work experience in essential occupation in Canada. You should be working at the time of application. The minimum CLB 4 is required for this application. You should have temporary residence status in Canada and you should be intend to reside in province or territory other than Quebec. When program will open, you will need to submit your application online only. Let's talk about Canadian post-secondary graduates now. The conditions are applicable to principal applicant again. The candidate must have completed a program of study at one of the following designated learning institutes in Canada. They are a public post-secondary institution such as college, trade, technical school, university, or in Quebec SEGEP. SEGP is a publicly funded post-secondary education pre-university college in Quebec. A private post-secondary school in Quebec that operates under the same rules and regulation as public institution in Quebec. A private or public post-secondary institution in Quebec offering qualifying program of 900 hours or longer leading to a diploma of vocational studies or an attestation of vocational specialization. A Canadian private institution authorized by provincial statute to confer degrees under provincial law, but only if the program of study completed was a degree as authorized by the province, which may not include all programs of study offered by the private institutions. The study must have completed prior to the date on which the application for permanent residence is received and not earlier than January 2017. The candidate must have granted one of the following credentials: a degree, associate, bachelor, master's or doctorate, which must be a degree issued on completion of a program of at least 8 months in duration. A degree, diploma, certificate or attestation issued on completion of a program of any duration leading to an occupation in a skilled trade listed in Annex A. So this Annex A is different than the Canadian experience class. So this is the Annex A for eligible skilled trade. I will leave the link in the description for this web page. You can go click on that link and come here to check your NOC code according to your job profile, according to your trade. So you should have degree, diploma or certificate in skilled trade or one or more diploma, certificate, attestation where the following conditions are met. So for this one you need to check these conditions. For diploma, certificates, attestation, each program of study must be at least 8 months in duration and the combined length of the credential must be equivalent to 2 years credentials, at least 16 months in duration. For the DVS and AVS, each program of study must be at least 900 hours in duration and the combined program of study must be at least 1800 hours in duration. So here you can check DVS means Diploma of Vocational Studies, AVS means Attestation of Vocational Specialization. When combining one ABS with one DVS, the length of the ABS may be less than 900 hours if the combined length is at least 1800 hours. So go over these requirements, these conditions again and match with your credentials. So go over these requirements, these conditions again and check if they match with your credentials. For greater clarity, each combined credentials must meet all the eligible program requirements, including the completion no earlier than January 2017. Beside the educational credentials, the candidate must have been authorized to study throughout their education in Canada. The candidate must be employed in Canada with a valid work permit or authorized to work at the time of the application for permanent residence is received and must not be self-employed. The candidate must have at least CLB 5 in either official language for each of the 4 language skill area. The evaluation must be less than 2 years old when the permanent residence application is received. The candidate must reside in Canada with a valid temporary residence status and be physically present in Canada at the time of the application for permanent residence is received and when the application is approved. If your temporary residence status is going to be expired, you should be eligible to restore your status in Canada. The candidate must intend to reside in a province or territory other than Quebec. And when the program will open, the candidate must have to submit their application online only. So these are the requirements for the main applicant, the principal applicant of Canadian post-secondary graduates. So now we're going to talk about conditions or requirements applicable to principal applicant in 3 additional streams. The only difference is that the candidate must have a French assessment to be eligible under these streams. The candidate must have at least benchmark 4 in French for Canadian work experience in essential occupation, and the candidate must have at least benchmark 5 in French for Canadian post-secondary graduates. The evaluation must be less than 2-year-old when the permanent residence application is received. Now we're going to talk about the family members of Canadian work experience in essential occupation and Canadian post-secondary graduates. So first of all, we're going to talk about if your family members are already in Canada, then they should meet the conditions like the family member should be in Canada at the time of the application. The family member has been included as an accompanying family member in an application for permanent residence by a principal applicant, and the family member meets the definition of a family member. So mainly it is like your spouse and any dependent children. But you can go on IRCC website and check the definitions and more details about it. Next is if your family member is not in Canada, they are in your home country or they live abroad. So these conditions apply to them. The family member residing overseas have been included as an accompanying family member in an application for permanent residence by a principal applicant, and the family member meets the definition of a family member. So next one is fees. IRCC hasn't declared any fee structure for this particular program. So this is the rough idea. It is a standard fee structure for any PR application. So it will give you an estimate that how much fund you need ahead to pay your fees. So for principal applicant, processing fee is $550. Right of permanent residence fee is $500. Spouse or partner, same, processing fee is $550 and right of permanent residence fee is $500. For dependent child, per child it is $150. If your family is abroad and they need to do biometrics, you need to pay biometric fees with your application. So it is for per person $85, and if your family is bigger than 2 or more, then you need to pay $170. I think so it is up to 5 members of the family. Any applicable fees, including fees for processing an application for permanent residence and the right of permanent residence fee, must be paid at the time of the application. So you need to pay these all fees together when you are submitting your application. This is the big opportunity, guys. You don't want to miss it. Hurry up, guys. Just start getting your documents ready, because in my opinion these streams will be reaching to their cap very soon when they will open this program. So let's discuss what are the documents should be checking right now by principal applicant. So first is educational documents. So you should be checking your educational credentials and put them together. Next one is your work experience documents. Work experience documents along with your job and responsibilities according to your NOC code. This could be a letter from your employer mentioning your all job duties, your responsibilities, record of employment or pay stubs to show your proof of your 1 year work experience, like you worked 1560 hours. Next one is the document which can prove your current employment in Canada. Same is a job offer, it could be a pay stub or letter from your employer. A valid language assessment certificate. So you need to check your language assessment certificate because it should be not less than 2-year-old at the time of your application. So you need to check if it is expiring very soon. You need to try to get it again. And the next one is a valid temporary visa document you should have with you. If it is getting expired again, you should be eligible to get the new one. And next is what are the documents you need to be getting ready for your family member if you are applying for your family member with your application. So first one is travel documents. You need to check their travel documents if they are expiring or not. If they are expiring, you need to renew them as soon as possible. Second thing is police clearance certificate. You know that you need police clearance certificate for them, so you should be applying right now because this program is opening on May 6 and you have very less time for that. The next thing is the PR photographs which you need for PR application, and these photographs should be not less than 3 months old, so you should be try to get them as soon as possible. Birth certificate, if you are declaring any dependent children, so you need birth certificate for them, so just check your birth certificate, get ready. If they are not in English at this time, you need to translate them, you need to get translated them from notary or authorized person. And next one is proof of your relationship with your spouse, like marriage certificate. So these are the documents, guys, which you should be getting ready right now because IRCC hasn't launched any application and any document checklist for this particular program right now, but the documents which I told you are required for any PR application. If you have them handy, then you will be able to submit your application as soon as they launch the application forms and everything. I will make another video as soon as I get more information about this program. If you have any question about this program or any other Canadian immigration program, please feel free to leave me a comment below or DM me on Instagram. You can find the link in the description below. I will try to answer you as soon as possible. Till then, stay tuned, stay positive, stay happy. Give me a thumbs up if you like my video. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it and press the bell icon for more informative videos. Thank you so much for watching this video.